Welcome back to the channel of Valuable Coins, History Coin Collectors, and Treasure Hunters. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating coins in American history. Top 4. First up, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel. At first glance, it may just look like an ordinary 5-cent piece, but in reality, this coin carries a story of wartime struggle, unique composition, and unbelievable value in today's market. If you're lucky enough to find one of these rare gems in your pocket change or tucked away in an old collection, it could literally make you rich overnight. The 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel was minted during World War II, a time when the United States needed nickel metal for the war effort. To conserve resources, the U.S. Mint created a special series of nickels made not from the usual copper-nickel blend, but instead from 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This makes the 1943 P nickel part of the famous wartime silver nickels. And because silver was used, these coins have become not only historically important, but also highly valuable to collectors and investors. The P mint mark above Monticello's dome on the reverse side is what truly sets this coin apart. This was the very first time in U.S. coinage history that the Philadelphia Mint used a mint mark on any coin. That detail alone makes the 1943 P nickel a major milestone for collectors. Combined with its silver content and wartime significance, the coin has captured the attention of numismatists for generations. Now, let's get to the exciting part: its worth in today's market. A typical circulated 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel can already fetch between $2 to $5, which is far above its face value. However, when you move into higher grades, the numbers start climbing dramatically. In uncirculated condition, prices can range from $50 to over $150, depending on the quality and sharpness of the strike. That's already a nice profit for a coin worth just 5 cents originally. But here's where it gets jaw-dropping. If you happen to own a 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel with full steps designation, meaning the steps on Monticello's building are sharply and fully visible, then you are sitting on a treasure. These full steps examples are incredibly rare, and their value has skyrocketed in recent auctions. Some have sold for thousands of dollars, and the highest graded specimens have even gone beyond the 5-figure mark. To put in perspective, a pristine MS-68 full steps 1943 P nickel has been known to sell for over $15,000 at auction. Imagine turning a simple 5-cent coin into the down payment for a house or even a brand new car. That's the magic of coin collecting. The hidden potential for life-changing value sitting in the palm of your hand. This is why collectors go crazy for wartime nickels, especially those in exceptional condition. So, what should you do if you think you have a 1943 P nickel? First, check the reverse side above Monticello for the bold P mint mark. Then, examine the coin's condition. If it looks sharp, untarnished, and has clear step lines, you may want to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. Certification can dramatically increase its marketability and value, and it may reveal that your coin is one of the top survivors from that year. In conclusion, the 1943 P. Jefferson Nickel is not just a simple 5-cent coin. It's a piece of wartime history and potentially a life-changing treasure. From a few dollars in circulated condition to tens of thousands for the rarest full steps examples, this coin proves that even the smallest change in your pocket can hold unimaginable wealth. So, before you spend that old nickel, take a closer look. You just might be holding the key to overnight riches. Next up, if you ever thought a simple 5-cent coin could never change your life, then think again. Today, we are diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable coins in American history, the 1944 P. Jefferson Nickel. This coin might look ordinary to the untrained eye, but collectors know that hidden in their pocket change could be a fortune. Yes, a Jefferson Nickel from 1944 with the Philadelphia Mint mark has shocked the numismatic world with its worth in today's market, and it has the power to make you rich overnight. Now, let's talk about why the 1944 P nickel is so special. During World War II, the U.S. Mint made changes to the coin's composition to save valuable metals like nickel for the war effort. Instead of using nickel, the Jefferson nickels from 1942 to 1945 were struck with a special wartime alloy of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. The 1944 P is one of those silver nickels, meaning not only is it historically important, but it also carries intrinsic silver value. And because silver prices have risen, even a common 1944 P in worn condition is worth more than face value, but certain rare ones are worth a fortune. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 119 million of these coins in 1944, which sounds like a lot, but here's the twist. Collectors are after coins that are in mint state, with full steps on Monticello. These full-step nickels are incredibly hard to find because the design details often wore out quickly during production. A 1944 P with full steps and in pristine, uncirculated condition can easily fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Some examples in the highest grades have been known to bring in over $10,000, proving that the right coin can transform a small pocket change into big money. But that's not all. The value of the 1944 P also depends on its errors and varieties. Collectors treasure coins that have double dies, repunched mint marks, or striking anomalies. For example, a double die reverse where the lettering appears doubled, or a repunched P mint mark above Monticello can skyrocket the price even higher. Some of these rare varieties can bring collectors and sellers into the five-figure range, making them among the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever known. Let's not forget that the 1944 P carries a huge P mint mark above Monticello, something that makes it stand out. This was the first time in U.S. history that the Philadelphia Mint used a mint mark on nickels, making it a historical milestone. That bold P is not just a letter. It is a symbol of wartime America and a mark that assures collectors they're holding silver, not the standard copper-nickel alloy. And because of this history, the coin's appeal has grown across the world, with collectors competing to own one of these treasures. Now imagine this. You're looking through your old change jar or perhaps a box of coins left behind by your grandparents, and you spot a 1944 P. Jefferson nickel. At first, you think it's just an old coin worth a few cents. But under the right conditions, it could be worth thousands of dollars, or in some cases, enough to change your life overnight. That's why experts always say, never ignore old coins, because hidden gems like this can make you richer than you ever dreamed. In today's market, the worth of a 1944 P ranges widely. A circulated example may bring in a few dollars, while a well-preserved uncirculated one can sell for hundreds. But when you get into rare full-step varieties or mint-condition coins graded MS67 or higher, you're talking about prices in the $10,000 to $15,000 range. And when an error coin comes into play, it can be worth even more. The sheer range in value is what makes this nickel one of the most exciting coins in U.S. coin collecting. So, the next time you hear someone say that nickels are worthless pocket change, you can smile and tell them the truth. A 1944 P. Jefferson nickel is not just a coin. It's a piece of wartime history, a silver treasure, and potentially a life-changing jackpot. Keep your eyes open, because if you ever stumble upon one in top condition, you could join the list of lucky collectors who turn a 5-cent piece into thousands of dollars. Truly, the 1944 P. Jefferson nickel proves that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest fortune. Next up, did you know a simple 5-cent coin from 1964 could actually make you rich overnight? That's right. Today we're diving into the world of the Jefferson nickel, focusing on one of the most surprising treasures in U.S. coinage history. Many people still have these coins sitting in jars, drawers, or tucked away in old wallets. What makes some 1964 Jefferson nickels so valuable is not just their age, but their condition, rarity, and some secret varieties that collectors are hunting for. Stick around, because the details could change the way you look at your spare change forever. The year 1964 was significant for U.S. coinage. It was the final year that the U.S. Mint produced coins intended for circulation before eliminating silver from dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Although nickels were never made with silver, the 1964 Jefferson nickel still holds special value because it was struck in massive numbers to meet growing demand. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced billions of these coins. However, Even with such a large mintage, there are rare versions and pristine examples that stand out and are worth thousands today. Condition is everything when it comes to coins, and the 1964 Jefferson Nickel is no exception. Most of these coins circulated heavily, meaning they show a lot of wear. But collectors prize nickels with sharp details, full steps on Monticello, and minimal marks. A full steps designation means that the steps on Thomas Jefferson's Monticello home, shown on the reverse of the coin, are clearly visible without wear or weak strikes. These full steps examples are exceedingly rare for 1964, making them highly valuable in auctions. So, how valuable can they really get? A regular worn 1964 nickel might only be worth a few cents, but in pristine condition with a full steps designation, prices skyrocket. Some 1964 Jefferson nickels graded by PCGS or in GC in Mint State 65 or higher, with full steps, have sold for well over $30,000 at auction. That's right, $30,000 for a coin that many people still think is just pocket change. This is why collectors call it a sleeper coin, because the unsuspecting eye may completely overlook its true value. Another reason for the high value of some 1964 nickels is that it was a transitional year for coin designs and minting practices. Many coins struck that year show weak details or production flaws due to the extremely high mintages. Finding one that not only survived in mint condition, but also shows crisp and sharp details is like finding a diamond in the rough. This rarity factor pushes collectors into bidding wars, driving up the price to unbelievable levels. Even more exciting are the varieties and errors that exist for the 1964 Jefferson Nickel. Some coins show double dies, repunch mint marks, or unusual striking mistakes. These error nickels can be extremely valuable depending on how dramatic the error is. For example, a dramatic double die on the date or lettering can take a common nickel and turn it into a collector's prize worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you're wondering how to tell if your 1964 nickel is worth big money, here are the keys. Look for the mint mark, either no mint mark for Philadelphia or a D for Denver. Examine the condition under good light, and check the steps on Monticello. If the steps are complete and sharp, you may have something extremely valuable. Submitting the coin to a professional grading service is the best way to confirm its value, because certified coins with full steps designations always command the highest prices. So, the next time you come across a 1964 Jefferson nickel, don't dismiss it as just another old 5-cent coin. It could be hiding the power to change your life overnight. With auction prices soaring into the tens of thousands of dollars, these nickels prove that even the smallest coins can hold unimaginable value. Always check your change. Search through your old collections, and who knows, you might be holding the key to unexpected fortune right in the palm of your hand. Next up, if you have a Jefferson nickel from 1941 lying around in your collection, wallet, or even tucked away in an old jar, you might be holding on to a hidden treasure that could make you rich overnight. Many people underestimate the worth of these nickels, but collectors are constantly searching for rare and high-grade examples of the 1941 Jefferson nickel, and some of these coins have sold for jaw-dropping prices in today's coin market. In this video, we'll dive deep into the fascinating details of this coin and why it could change your financial fortune. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and the 1941 issue holds a special place because it came right before America's entry into World War II. This year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these nickels across 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D mint mark; and San Francisco, S mint mark. While the coin might seem common at first glance, the true value lies in its condition, mint mark, and any rare varieties or errors that make it stand out from the crowd. A regular circulated 1941 Jefferson nickel might only be worth a few cents above face value, but the real money is in high-grade examples. If you have a coin in mint state condition, especially one graded MS 67 or higher by a professional grading service, its value can skyrocket into hundreds and even thousands of dollars. Collectors are willing to pay big money for coins that are nearly flawless, with sharp details, strong luster, and no major scratches or wear. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1941 nickel is the rare full steps variety. Full steps refer to the detail on the steps of Monticello, the building featured on the reverse of the coin. Because of striking issues at the time, very few coins were minted with the steps fully visible and sharply struck. If you own a 1941 nickel with full steps, especially in a high grade, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Some of these full-step coins have sold for over $5,000 at auction. But the surprises don't stop there. Error coins from 1941 are also highly prized by collectors. Double die obverse, off-center strikes, or nickels with clipped planchets can dramatically increase the value of your coin. Even minor errors can fetch significant premiums, depending on rarity and condition. That's why every 1941 nickel should be carefully inspected before assuming it's just worth face value. Auction records prove just how valuable the 1941 Jefferson Nickel can be. In recent years, pristine examples with full steps in gem condition have sold for thousands of dollars. For instance, a 1941 S nickel with full steps in MS 67 has crossed the auction block for nearly $10,000. Stories like these are what make collectors dream of finding that perfect coin hidden in their change or inherited from family. So, the big takeaway is this. While a typical 1941 Jefferson nickel may not seem like much at first, the right combination condition, mint mark, and rarity can turn it into a life-changing piece of money. Whether you have a Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco mint coin, check its details carefully. Look for full steps, examine the luster, and consider having it professionally graded. That small step could be the key to unlocking its true worth in today's booming coin market. In conclusion, the 1941 Jefferson Nickel is more than just a 5-cent piece. It's a potential gold mine for lucky collectors. With the right variety and grade, this coin can fetch thousands of dollars and make you rich overnight. So, don't ignore those old nickels. Check your coin jars, ask your relatives, and dig through those collections, because the 1941 nickel could be the ticket to financial freedom you've been waiting for.